today's going to be kind of a flyer. So, I've been promising a BizNexus walkthrough and how that relates to the social selling process for quite some time now. So I'm just going to start with that. I'm going to end with it. And there's no script to this. So I'm just going to show you what I see a lot of business brokers in particular missing, providers as well. We have trust and estate professionals and financial planners and accountants and these other ancillary positions on the platform. But the main three users of the BizNexus platform, let's call them the main two. It's the entrepreneur, that's the buyer seller, and then there's the intermediary, right? So the intermediary is obviously a very critical aspect of BizNexus. We've built the platform to really facilitate deal origination and buyer seller outreach and matching. So social selling really blends nicely with that platform. So on the lunch and learn today, I'll just really cover what is social selling, the intro. Again, apologies for this sore throat here. Just developed a little cough for the webinar. We're going to cover what the social selling process is very briefly today, and then I'm going to jump right into BizNexus and show you, the common mistakes that I'm seeing where people are missing the opportunities, but then also some of the tricks and the tools that we've built to really help not only business brokers, but anybody on the platform match with your target prospect. So again, as always, quick intro. Who am I? Why should you care? Basically, I've just been in deal origination for the duration of my career. And this is a space that has changed completely from just outbound cold calls and then moving into outbound emails. And then as social came in, really, we're really still on the front edge of that. There's only one B2B platform out there, general B2B platform out there that is dominating the business social space. That's LinkedIn. So 5 years from now, is that going to be the case? I'd be shocked if it is. We have a lot of niche providers like BizNexus that deal in specific industries. BizNexus obviously in business acquisition and sale. But my point is, this space has changed a lot over 20 years, and it's changing more rapidly now than it ever has. Really, especially when it comes down to the useful tech stack that you'll use as part of your deal origination, your digital outreach, that changes very, very quickly. I think I've gone through, from a data standpoint, in terms of data enrichment, I think we've gone through 6 platforms this year. We're always testing the new technologies that are available, and that just constantly rotates. So whether we're talking about LinkedIn or BizNexus or Facebook or Twitter, the platforms will rotate as well, and the process will stay the same. So social selling is taking advantage of all of these social platforms out there, right? And the data that's available, and leveraging those to build your online brand, to get in front of your target prospects, to get in front of your referral prospects, familiarize them with your brand, who you are, what you do, get them moving down the funnel without any in-person meeting, without any friction, without any touch points that you'd have to have in your traditional selling process, so that when it comes time to have the relationship, to have the in-person meeting, they're already familiar with your brand. They've already moved down the funnel. They're already comfortable with your value proposition. They've seen some social proof. They know that you're good enough at what you do to be getting in front of. That's how the world works today. Everybody's Googling you. Everybody knows about you before they pick up the phone. So social selling is a process that really leverages that in order to get that final call or meeting, in order to get in front of your prospect, to pull them off of this online ecosystem that we're creating across social platforms and into a real world business relationship. For us, we'll be covering BizNexus today, but a lot of what we do, a lot of what we cover is really the process that we are consistently fine-tuning at BN.Digital, at our agency, right? And we've never really had one process that just stays stagnant. It's constantly evolving. We're constantly looking at what works and throwing away what doesn't. So that's the process. You can find us at BizNexus and BN.Digital. 5 stages of social selling: optimizing your target to meet the pain points, to meet the needs of your end target prospect, really refining your targeting for your primary prospects and your referral prospects so that you can scale when you build campaigns. You're reaching out to those target prospects and you're not wasting your time. You're really nailing your targeting so that you're not bringing in, the primary prospects, the referral prospects who are going to waste your time if you're having a conversation, and especially if you're getting on the phone or, a Zoom these days. Nurturing your prospects, so bringing them down the funnel, familiarizing them with your brand, who you are, what you do, proving your value proposition, social proof, right? There are different messages that you send to these prospects at different points of awareness, right? At different points of the relationship until you finally capture, right? Until they reach out because they're interested in your value prop and what you are selling, right? What selling is a bad term for it. I mean, we are all selling, but what you are offering, right? What problem you are solving, what pain point you're meeting that's specific to that end target prospect. Here's where we are today, everywhere, right? We're just gonna walk through BizNexus. So I'm gonna briefly cover the profile and listings and information that you need to convert if you're a broker. The main features of BizNexus, but I'm just gonna give a walkthrough that I think a lot of people are unfamiliar with that will highlight why some of these things are so important and why it matters in the matching process on BizNexus. So BizNexus, if we go to the main site, right, this is what you'll see when you go to BizNexus. And it's a different experience for each different type of user, right? So if you're a value builder, for example, Catherine, I know we've got you in the webinar today. You're gonna have a different experience than a business broker, a business intermediary, who will have some features and some matching that the provider, that the value builder will not have. If you're a buyer, you're gonna have a completely different experience. So I wanna start by showing you what this looks like for the buyer when they come into BizNexus, right? So when a buyer logs in, they are immediately presented with their homepage, right? And this is what the buyer homepage looks like. And I'll tell you why this matters. Really from start to finish here, okay? So they've got the search console, and we've got primarily business brokers on the call today. So I'll cover this search console when I'm in the business broker profile. But this is what the entrepreneurs are doing to build out a set of searches specific to their acquisition hunt, right? So if you go into their buy side tools, they can create these searches by whatever target search they have, right? So if they're working for a private equity group and there are multiple portfolio companies, maybe they have portfolio company ABC with a list of very niche saved searches under here, right? I'll get back into that when I go into the broker profile, but all of that populates their homepage, right? So when they're searching, when they're filling out their acquisition preferences, we're showing them the deals that match with what they've stated as their acquisition preferences, and then what their saved searches are, right? We're recommending deals, and we're also recommending professionals, right? So we're recommending intermediaries. We're going to be continuing to recommend the niche providers, Catherine, such as a value builder, right? Where we have this matching technology that's evolving month over month over month, and we're showing the best professionals to help these different user types on BizNexus get a deal done, right? Who are the niche providers who can help facilitate your deal flow? So you're going to see saved searches, you're going to see favorite searches, and all of these get emailed to the buyer, all right? When there are updates, we'll send them 2 emails a day, one at 10 a.m. for their acquisition preferences, and then the other will be based on their searches. Again, the intermediaries will also be included if there's a match. So let me get out of the buyer profile now, all right? Because again, on today's call, we mostly have the other side of the coin, and that is going to be the broker profile, right? So in the broker profile, this is what you see, what most of you see when you log in to BizNexus, right? You're gonna see the content for the social selling piece, right? So if you're new to the call, if you haven't set up a profile in BizNexus, you get all this for free. So everything we're talking about in terms of establishing yourself as a qualified authority in the world of business acquisition and sale, we break all this content up into buckets: selling a business, COVID-19, business valuation, buying a business, build for an exit. And you can just scroll through, pick a piece of content, and share it on any social network, right? We've gone through this on past episodes, but you can share this as a post, as a private message, hashtags. I'm not going to go through it again today, but hop on BN.Digital, look at our past lunch and learns, and you'll see there's a lunch and learn specifically on how to share content from your profile in BizNexus. We also have these groups, right? We recommend, again, for every post, you should be out there engaging, liking content or commenting 10 times for each post. Not just randomly, not random acts of social. These are focused interactions. Everything that you're doing on social is focused. It's focused on your end target prospect. It's focused on your referral prospects. So if you're out there making comments, don't go comment on somebody's political post on LinkedIn. Comment on somebody in the exit planning exchange who's talking about the process of preparing a company for sale, right? Get it out there, because everyone who is looking at that piece of content, everybody who's engaging in that piece of content, when you comment, when you engage, they're going to see your brand. If you've got the right job title, the right job description, they're going to see what you do. That should be stupid simple. Again, go look at past lunch and learns and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And this is where you get the networking effect of being in a group like LinkedIn. I was on the phone with a client last week who is new to this. They work with a very niche industry. It's trust and estates, and it's not something that you really want to scale. But for a platform like LinkedIn, if you want to get in front of the niche professionals in that world, LinkedIn in particular is invaluable, right? Because every one of these groups you could think of as maybe a club that if someone is in that club and they're also in another club that you're not a part of, when you comment on their post, when you comment on their article, whether you're in the other clubs that prospect is in or not, all of their Rolodex, all of their contacts could potentially see your brand, could see your content. So if you're strategic about this, that's where it can really snowball in terms of exposure. And that's, now I'm getting into LinkedIn, but that's something that I can cover as another tactic on another lunch and learn. So back into BizNexus. Let's go into the edit profile section and why this is important. So we have a shocking amount of brokers who haven't filled out the basics. And why this is such a miss is because everything that I showed you on that homepage, we're not going to show you. We're not going to match you. Our algorithms are built to prevent that from happening, right? So if you don't have your photo uploaded, right? If you haven't filled out the basic information, your areas of interest, your industries of expertise, you're much less likely to get matched. And quite frankly, that goes for your listings as well. The more information that we have to help match you, right? So current listings for sale, completed transactions, this helps us put you in front of the right buyers, the right sellers, the right end prospects. So if there's any takeaway for the business brokers, especially out there today, it's fill out the data, fill out your profile. And when you're adding a listing, you can add a good amount. So depending on whether it's you or your admin, or if you have a listing manager, you want to deliver the message that this data should be filled out on BizNexus, because you're much more likely to get your listing in front of the buyers. So choosing some of the basic information that they'll have on every listing site out there. Again, we're not a browse and search as much as a match and kind of sniper target site. That's what we focus on, is the matching. So things like this. All right, here we go. You can, if you have DocuSign, or you're using HelloSign, or you have a page on your website with your NDA, you can just put this link to your NDA right in the deal, and you can put it right in into your profile, right? And that's going to show up so that the buyer can just sign your NDA right away, right? Same thing with uploading a teaser or putting in a link to a teaser. You can put that there and you can have that. The buyers on our platform love that. We're going to prioritize that in terms of showing deals that have that. So if you have it, add it, right? If you have a video, you can put a Vimeo or a YouTube link I think we've got Hal, I see you in here. You've been really crushing YouTube over the past couple months. If you have a nice overview video, you can throw that right in with your listings, right? So you can communicate that to whoever is posting your deals on BizNexus. Financial details. We now have multiple levels of buyers. That's going to continue. But the more data that you put in, the more eyeballs your deal is going to get in front of, right? So Main Street, maybe people will work with the SDE metric, right? Because they're buying their way into a job. They want to know how much a company puts out with, with the salary and with EBITDA. You have private equity, you have search funders, you have buyout, typically looking at this metric because they're going to put a manager in there to run the company. And this is the metric that they're looking at. So if you want to make sure you get maximum exposure for your deal, you're going to put in both of these metrics because you have buyers that are searching either by SDE, either by EBITDA, maybe by both. But ideally, you put both in there so that you're going to be getting matched for whatever they've set their acquisition preferences. Debt payments. If you have an asset sale, make sure you put that in there. If you have any questions, just contact me and I'll tell you what Article 9 is all about. Historical revenue, right? This, you can put in the past few years. You can ballpark this just to show the trajectory of the business. And that will show to our premium buyers who are paid buyers. And you can do that for as many years as you'd like, but really 3 to 5 years is what we'll typically see on the larger deals when people are entering in that financial info. All of these other fields, I'm not going to bore you to death just going through them. Check them out. FAQs, this is great, right? So if you can anticipate, if you have a really good deal, right, something that you want to spend time on, and knowing that if you have data entered, we're going to prioritize those listings. Those are more likely to get matched. If you can anticipate some of the questions about the deal and throw in the answers and put that into the FAQ, that's a great feature on our listing page that we see a lot of people not taking advantage of, even on the bigger deals, which is that's a big miss. So bona fides, if you have any certifications, associations, awards, you can add those there. Reviews, right? You can request reviews, so you have total control. You can manually send in a link. You get your own custom link here to send to clients. So if you want to send that to anybody, you can send them it. You can manually send them the link and ask for the review on BizNexus, or you can just put in their name and email. And this is you can put in your own body, but we'll have the default text there too. So if you want to get reviews, that's how you do it. Testimonials, copy and paste, right? If you have some good testimonials on some other social sites or on your website, you just copy and paste and put in the attribution, right? So if you had somebody who gave you a testimonial, you can just put in the attribution, copy and paste there. Now, buy-side tools. If anybody out there is doing buy-side work, which I strongly recommend, you should be, if you can get a relationship with a strategic acquirer as a business intermediary, if you can get a relationship with a strategic acquirer or a private equity firm, either focused on your area or your industry niche, if you can get some sort of retainer plus success fee commission, that's a great setup for the next 12 to 18 months in this environment that we're in. So if you're doing that kind of work, we allow buy-side brokers to do exactly what our buyers do, right? So you can search by all of these metrics, which private equity especially will be interested in. If they're telling you what you should be looking for, whether it's an EBITDA multiple, revenue multiple, areas, industries, our search tool will allow you to do that. And I'll show you some tricks, right? So you can classify these searches by your buy-side client or by your project or your portfolio company. So let's say I get a new client, right? Strategic HVAC, Florida. So that's going to be my new client, right? I just ran into a big HVAC company And they said, you know, I'm not a broker, but if I were, I'd be saying, you know, was a broker in another life, but now I'm running BizNexus. So if you are on the hunt for their target acquisitions, what you can do is, you know, maybe we just do Florida, keyword HVAC, and I'm going to search that, right? Now I've got a bunch of HVAC companies that are all potential acquisitions for this client. So I'm going to save this search, right? And I'm going to say, you know, HVAC, you know, FL. I always like to put the keyword. So keyword HVAC, right? Because if you get a bunch of searches, you're going to know what you put in here. I'm going to assign that to strategic HVAC, right? And now when I go back into my buy side tools, right, I'm going to see that under strategic HVAC, I have this first search. So I can choose by checking this box whether I want to get emails on this, alerts at 2 p.m. every day when we send that email out. And I can do as many niche strategic HVAC searches as I want, right? So I can have 10 of these things with different keywords. I can have different financial metrics. You can get very, very, very niche. And then, you know, it's set it and forget it. You've automated the top of the funnel when it comes to deal origination. So I can constantly go in and just look at these things. And if I really like one, let's say this Premier Palm Beach at 1.5 million, I like that. You know what? I'm just going to favorite it. And I'm going to hold on to that and contact the seller and see if I can work a deal for my strategic. So that is, let's see. That's the tool for searching for the brokers. And our buy side brokers have been engaging with that, and we love seeing that. I just don't think many of the brokers are aware of it. The buyers certainly are, but it's a tool that the brokers can certainly engage with. Again, the groups we've seen this. Let's get back into here. Advertising and boosting your profile. I told you guys I didn't really do the script here, so I'm just walking you through the product. But if you want to show ads, you have the ability to do that. You can put ads directly on the business for sale page, right, under the financial metrics. You can put ads directly on the buyer homepage, right? You can put a little text ad directly on the buyer homepage. You can put it right in the search results on the listings. You can put it in a lower place in the search results, and you know, et cetera, et cetera. So we have multiple, you know, we have a lot of options for ads, and we're continuing to roll those out. Boosting your profile. This is interesting, and I'll tell you why in particular in a few minutes. But you can boost your profile by industry and by area. So, you know, Hal, I know you focus on auto. If you wanted to potentially focus ads, keyword auto, you can do that on BizNexus. You know, Catherine, you're out there in Sacramento. If you wanted to focus on Sacramento, you can do that. And your profile will be boosted to all of the users and to all the people who are searching in those areas, who are from those areas, to all the entrepreneurs and providers on our platform. So the ability to do that. One new thing that we've just rolled out this week, and we're actually doing another release today. So we're going to make this really easy to find on your homepage. But everybody now has a referral link, right? And so what you get with this is really cool, because if you're a buy-side broker and you want to get access to all of that premium search functionality, right? Because we've walled off some of that in terms of data and who you can reach out to on the buy side, not for brokers and, you know, listings, all of that. That's free. That's going to stay free. That's not going anywhere. But for those premium buyer features, if you can get, so if you're a business broker and you copy your referral link, you can share it on LinkedIn, right? Or you can just copy it right there. And when you do this, you're going to get, as a broker, you're going to get a month of premium access. And you're also going to get one free profile boost and 1 free listing boost, which, I did not even show you. So I'll show you that. If you have a listing, you want to boost it, something that's really, really worth it. Same thing, you can boost this just like a profile, but you can make sure that your listing comes up in front of all of the other results, right? It'll show on the buyer homepage for people who are interested in that industry or that area, and it will show ahead of the other listings that show up on their page, on a search results page. And so you can do that by industry, you can do it by area. Now you're going to get a free listing boost and a free profile boost for every person who signs up and adds just 1 listing, right? So if you invite a broker, they get on BizNexus, they add a listing, you're going to get all that. If you do it for 10 brokers, you're going to wind up getting 10 months of premium, 10 free boosts, 10 free listing boosts. So we're going to be advertising that probably next week. If you're on this call, you heard it here first, you can get a jump on it and just go to your profile tab, get your referral link, put it out there, get people to sign up, because at some point, especially with brokers, there are only so many out there, right? So I think we're probably going to see this lifetime value expire sometime around the end of the year, because we've already got a lot of you on there. Now, if you're a provider, you're going to get the same thing. So Catherine, going back to you as a value builder, you'll get the free boost. You don't have listings, so that's irrelevant, but you'll get a free boost. And I think we'll probably wind up giving you a free ad as well as we refine this. And that's kind of it for the main features. Let me just cover the main points. Fill out your profile, right? You have the ability to boost that profile, but filling it out will at least put you in the game for getting matched with buyers, with sellers, with the entrepreneurs. The listings, same thing. Make sure you put in all the data for the listings, take advantage of the NDA link, take advantage of, we're going to be having some Zoom functionality coming out, which will be pretty cool. But getting, the NDA, getting rid of those friction points so that these buyers can get in touch with you as quickly as possible. Make sure you fill that out. If you have a video, put it on there, because we're going to prioritize the listings with a video over the ones that don't have video. The bona fides, reviews, testimonials, get them up there. Let me show you what the public profile page looks like when you filled all this out, right? You have just a nice profile, who you are, what you do. I myself also need to get a video up there, but really I'm just using this for demos. I don't care about getting matched. I'm actually not able to do that because we've set it up that way. But this is what the profile will look like. And then in terms of what you're putting on LinkedIn, right? So getting back to the LinkedIn aspect of all of this, when you share your profile on LinkedIn, you are going to see it shows up pretty well. So everything, again, with the metadata is going to be, it's going to look pretty good when you do it with, let's see. Yeah, well, actually I need to scrape this. If I put this in, that's how it shows up. So your profile is going to show your picture, have the description, who you are, what you do. Same thing with your listings. If you put those in the features section, you absolutely should if you have good listings, hot listings. And when you're back in the content section of BizNexus, I should have led with this. A lot of people don't realize as you're searching content, you have listings laced with your content, right? So this is just a franchise opportunity that we have. We don't sell businesses. We just do, a couple of franchise opportunities, new franchise opportunities. This is what it'll look like. Your listings are going to be mixed in here with the content. So every few pieces of content, you're going to see your listings. You can just go through and share those. Share them on Facebook, share them on Twitter, share them on LinkedIn. You're going to pull the appropriate metadata. It's going to look great. And if you're building a valuable social selling network, that's a great part of your outreach, right? Establishing yourself as a qualified authority in the area of business acquisition and sale. It's not only content about business acquisition and sale, it's actually the businesses that you're selling, right? Talk about what you're doing for this. Maybe talk about the experience of bringing this to market. Talk about why it's important for sellers to engage with social marketing right? To have their businesses put out across social to get, to reach the targeted, the entire universe of targeted buyers. So that's it. That's really all I want to do for today. Just going through BizNexus and what we do, the advertising, everything. We'll maybe cover that at another point, more in depth. But the platform, we're rolling out new features. It's more than once a month, right? So this platform is just getting better and better. The growth has been really great, especially since this world changed on us. I think everything's kind of transitioning online. So if you're looking at social selling, if you're looking at automating the top of your funnel for outreach and deal origination, this is all part of it, right? Whether it's a BizNexus, the niche platforms of the world that will continue to pop up, or the LinkedIns or the Facebooks or the Twitters, you need to be engaged. And especially with a platform like BizNexus or these other ones, the early birds typically catch the worms, right? So if you're on these platforms and you get the traction, it's like the early sellers on Amazon, right? They're still hard to beat to this day. If you get there, you get the traction. It can wind up being a really great thing if these platforms take off, which hopefully BizNexus will continue to do. So that's it. I'm gonna go to questions. Let's see. So Randy's asking, is there anything special for brokers we refer if they sign up via the referral link, like an incentive to use our referral link? So no, they will have their own referral link when they sign up, and they can then share that, and they can get their own boost, right? So again, this I think will snowball quickly with the intermediaries of the world, because there are only so many active intermediaries out there. So if you have 10 of your closest intermediary friends, and they all sign up and add a listing, then you'll wind up with 10 boosted profiles. You'll wind up with 10 boosted listings credits, and you'll wind up with 10 months of premium. And then if they go out and invite anybody, they'll get the same thing. So the referral link is really for your own benefit. What they get is all the free tools and bells and whistles that we continue to build for business brokers, plus the free boost and the free the free listing boost if they get anyone else to sign up. Yeah, for providers. So if you're a lawyer or an accountant, today you'll be able to boost your profile, right? And that's really important for if you're an insurance agent or an insurance broker, to be able to get in front of a pool of targets like we have on BizNexus, people who are actively searching to buy businesses. I think the stat is within the first year of acquisition, over 80% of new business owners change their insurance provider and policy, right? So in terms of hitting a target that is going to need your product, I mean, when are you going to change your insurance, right? Unless you have something really bad happen. Once a business owner locks into an insurance policy, it's typically just renew. So if you can get that new business owner, that's really valuable for insurance broker, for an accountant, right? I mean, if an accountant can develop a relationship with a new owner when they come in, really anybody in the P&L, like marketers and any service provider for a business, everything's up for grabs with a new business owner. So for providers, we are allowing you to boost your profile and hit those buyers by geography, by industry, whatever works for you. And we'll also have that advertising. We're going to loop in some free advertising for providers as well. But great question. Thanks. Yeah. So the link again for boosting your profile. If right now, if you go to edit profile and you look under profile, you're going to see your referral link, right? You just share that. So you can share that across, just do a post on LinkedIn. You can copy it. You can email it to your friends. Like I said, we're actually doing a dev release that's going to make this a lot more pretty. We're going to have that going live tonight. So if you wake up in the morning, you're going to see on your homepage a big call to action right here with sharing your, sharing your referral link, and it's off to the races, right? Like I said, we're not going to start marketing this till next week. So consider it a perk of being on the Lunch and Learn. If you want to start sharing that out, no pressure to do it today, but tomorrow, once we have that really nice referral link and just make it very user friendly, I'd say go for it. Yeah, well, I'll just promise not to start marketing this until next week. Yeah. So again, the Lunch and Learns, we're going to be walling this off a little bit too, because I think we want to keep the value for people actually showing up here. But if you want to go to BN.Digital and you look at the training link, you're going to see all of the old Lunch and Learns. All right. And we'll put up a wall, but if you've been in these Lunch and Learns, or if you're a client, or if you're actively engaged in BizNexus, I have absolutely no problem comping you to get in there. And I'll just, we just don't want everybody coming to the site and not actually engaging with BizNexus, or not actually going to the Lunch and Learns. And so, but yeah, we'll definitely make it accessible for anybody who's actually on these Lunch and Learns, or engaged with BizNexus. Same thing with the interviews. If you go to resources, content, marketing, interviews. So we've been doing this. It's been great. I love where it's going. We'll continue to get better. But basically the process is go to BN.Digital under the resources tab, go to content marketing submission, and you're going to see a ton of new interviews, right? Because we've had these things really, really rolling. So we've got a broker questionnaire specifically about business valuation, right? We have the general blog interview for business brokers, for intermediaries. We have a broker questionnaire about marketing the deal, right? I mean, it's such a critical aspect of why you'd want to hire a business broker in the first place. It's because you need someone to go out there and market the deal. Forget about the confidentiality issues and being familiar with how to conduct a transaction and take a deal through from start to finish. Marketing the deal is a really, really big piece of that. So when you're posting, you should be talking about that as a business broker, right? Especially if you're sharing your own post from BizNexus, you talk about the importance of marketing a deal like that. Future of M&A, where's it going? Really interesting right now. A lot of people are talking about what happens with deal origination, what happens with diligence, what happens in this post-COVID world, what's coming back, right? Are we all going to be doing sit-down meetings with clients who you haven't really vetted, who you haven't, when do you meet the management team? Are you going to have to sit down in person, or is that going to be a Zoom? So offering your thoughts and a question like that makes for a really interesting blog post. Same thing, closing deals. All of these things, we're continuing to put new questionnaires in. The process is you submit your answers. We turn it into a blog post. So if you go to BizNexus, you go to the blog, right? You're going to see stuff like this. Hal, here's your blog. I think you don't even know that this is up here. So it's going to be the question, your answer, right? And then we'll slip in the video. So Hal, your video hasn't been put in there yet. Yeah, but we can put in, let's see, there's one I saw. All right, so here's Katie's. I know we've got some videos in there. We had videos, not sure where they went. I'll have to check that out. But look, new process. We're doing this for everybody. Don, you've got a video in there. You've got the full video. We'll also be cutting out snippets, right? So if you have a snippet about your question, we're going to throw that video in here, and we're going to email you the blog post, email you the video. You can put the blog directly in your LinkedIn featured section. You can put it, if you have a video about business valuation and you have business valuation as a service under your business brokerage company on LinkedIn, you can put that video in there and it calls attention to the profile. So there's so much you can do with this. But it starts by just filling out the questions, and we'll do the rest. Yep. All right, guys, we've definitely gone over. So I'm going to leave it at that. And hopefully this was helpful. I know it was a lot, but we're continuing to build this thing out, and we're excited about where it's going, and we're going to keep building out features for you guys. So if you have any feedback on the Lunch and Learn, as always, please submit that when you get the questionnaire after I hit the end button here. But also, if you have any thoughts about what you'd like to see on BizNexus, what's working, what's not working, features that you want implemented, we always want to listen to feedback, because that's how we build this thing out. All right. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.